Hello and thanks for stopping by the MAC weather page for this Thursday, October 20th. And the headlines here over the next few days is we're going to see a chance of rain across southeast lower Michigan into southwest Ontario. Again, the heaviest rainfall looks like it'll be from Sandusky down to about Hillsdale, with the much heavier rain expected to be across the far southeast part of the state for places like Blissfield, Jasper, over into St. Thomas, Tupperville, and maybe up into the London area. But again, much of the MAC area will see very little rain once you get north of and west of Lansing or Grand Rapids. Again, some of the places that should fare out pretty well will be the Breckenridge, Middleton, possibly Henderson area down to Clarksville and over towards Newaygo. And again, Newaygo's rainfall over the next few days may be consisting of more in the way of lake effect as much cooler air comes into the region. And again, we'll have a chance of some frost here Friday and Saturday mornings, and then we'll start a warming trend beginning Sunday, which should give us some really nice weather going into much of next week with above normal temperatures. But I think as we get towards the middle of next week, we'll have a pretty strong storm that's going to emerge out of the Rockies, and that'll bring a pretty good chance of showers to the area about midweek. So it looks like the driest period for much of the area, with the exception of southeast lower Michigan and Ontario, is going to be for from now until about the middle of next week. And then I think we'll be warm, but we'll turn quite active, I think, with above normal precipitation here over the next couple of weeks. If we look at the normals, our normal high is 58, the normal low is 39. You can see back in 1992 we had a half inch of snow before 7 a.m. We picked up 2.7 inches during the day, giving us a total of 3.2 inches of snow back on this date in 1992. If we look at the conditions around the area, you can see yesterday and many temperatures across the area were in the mid 60s to low 70s, with Lansing the warm spot at 72. Clarksville starting to rival Newaygo as some of the cold spots. They were down to 44 degrees, and a couple of locations picking up 1/100 of an inch of precipitation here. If we look at the conditions yesterday across the nation, the highest temperature recorded was 103 degrees at Rio Grande Village in Texas, and the cold spot 15 degrees at Ely, Nevada. Looking at conditions around the MAC area this morning, you can see temperatures mainly in the low to mid 50s across the area. Newaygo down to 47 degrees. But again, this is running about 10 to 15 degrees above normal, so very warm conditions across the area this morning. And you can see by some of the rainfall totals that we're picking up more than this as of the last hour. But you can see many areas across the areas where we thought we'd see the rain this morning into the day, picking up that rain. Again, 1/100 of an inch up to about Lansing, and a little bit over in Brown City and Marlette as well. So again, that's we expect the heaviest rain to maintain itself across southeast lower Michigan into Ontario. If we look at the low-level wind fields, you can see where the convergence is along the stalled out front where the low pressure system is going to track up at. And again, where these stronger wind fields are present, that's where the area of best chance of precipitation is falling right now. And you can see the convergence along that front. If we look at the satellite view, you can clearly see where showers and thunderstorms and rain has developed across much of the area from the Ohio Valley back to Texas. And if we look at the radar, you can see that area of showers and a few embedded thunderstorms off to the south. And you can see from around the Hillsdale area up to about Sandusky, and there's a few scattered showers back behind that. But again, most of this precipitation should be across the southeast part of the state. Much of the northern portions of the MAC area will be either dry or maybe a sprinkle or two. There'll be plenty of clouds, but if you get up towards the Mount Pleasant Clair area, there will even be a chance of a little bit of dim sunshine here today. But again, it should be dry for much of the northern areas as we go through into the earlier middle part of next week. Right now, I think the best chance of precipitation would be late Tuesday night into Wednesday. On this morning's weather map, you can see areas of low pressure moving up. This cold front is important, as it's going to help to push that precipitation south and east as the precipitation tries to work itself to the north. And you can see about the cutoff of any precipitation depicted on the dashed line there. So again, much of the northern areas will be dry, and a pretty good soaking rain across far southeast lower Michigan and into Ontario. And by tomorrow, that system well off to the east will have high pressure dominating the area. But with that cold air coming across the Great Lakes, you can see there'll be some lake effect rain showers across the lower peninsula, maybe mixed with some snow as you get into the UP. And then for the day on Saturday, high pressure continues to be in control of our weather. We'll have nice conditions across much of lower Michigan, and just a chance of a shower or two as you get up towards the northern parts of the upper Great Lakes here as we get into Saturday and Sunday. But once that system moves through, the warmer temperatures back into the 60s, maybe some 70s for next week, as we continue into a warm overall pattern. As far as precipitation, you can see just trace amounts as you get into the Saginaw Valley back towards Grand Rapids. Heaviest rainfall will be south and east of Lansing, and again with the more significant precipitation from around the Sandusky area down to around the Hillsdale area and points south and east of that. If we look at the SOI, the latest SOI index, you can see this is that crash we had about 5, 6, 7 days ago. And we said that in about 6 to 10 or 8 to 12 days, you can normally expect a trough across the eastern U.S., bringing cooler conditions. And that's the weather we're getting today on through Saturday. And already, though, the recovery back against the 30-day base date means that we'll see more continuation of ridging across the area. Now, what we're going to look for, and this is from weatherbell.com, and I like to follow their analysis on the SOI. Once we start getting into November, when we see a more prolonged, pronounced crash in the SOI, that could be a signal that shortly after that we could go into a very winter-like pattern. But right now we don't see that coming up anytime soon. But the next time we see, a more prolonged crash in that SOI, then I think we'll start to really watch carefully. But over the next 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 days, you can see plenty of warm conditions across the lower 48. And as far as precipitation goes, you can see much of the northern parts of the U.S. is going to be above normal precipitation right on through the period. So certainly take advantage of the next 5 to 6 days here across much of the northern portions of the MAC area. And hopefully we can get a lot done here and wipe out a lot of these soybeans here over the next week. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day, and 73s to all.